Hello everyone. I am Mathangi. I have been a teacher, an English teacher for the past 10 years. I had to leave my job for some personal reasons. But then when I was at home for quite some time, my brain tends to go into an overthinking drive. So uh, I wasn't even able to sit for 10 days quietly. I have been writing also for the past, since I was in ninth grade, and many works. Few of my work has been published. There is one novel to my name, um, one collection of poems to my name, and one collection anthology of short love stories to my name. And this book, the idea for this book came to me in 2023, so around September, October. And I remember the month because I had even gotten a cover made. The book wasn't ready, but I had gotten the cover made. Of course, I have not used that cover now, but I had gotten that cover made. Okay, and uh, so today what I'm going to do is my from my book The Whispers of the Sacred Realms, which is the first book in a trilogy of the Immortal Empire series. I'm going to read out a chapter for y'all, and you all have to listen to it and let me know um, whether it's good enough or not. Okay, so let's begin. I'm there stunned. My heart was pounding in my chest. My mind was in a mayhem. I laughed at myself. Me, an empress? A leader? How can I be fated to do something so magnificent when I wasn't even trusted with the smallest of things in my life? This is ridiculous, I scoffed. Me, an empress, leading a whole army? I have not been asked for suggestions for anything in my whole life, and this is what I'm destined to do? This is unbelievable. It does not make any sense. Someone like Adhira or Dhruvi should have been the chosen one to be the empress. I was breathing heavily. The anxiety was setting in. Adhira kept a hand on my shoulder to calm me down and said, all of us have roles to play, and this is yours. Miss Parshati, in her calm and composed voice, said, you were always destined to be the empress. This prophecy was written ages ago. Everything happens when it should be happening. There is a story that connects this prophecy. Then she looked at Mr. Mr. Kalasa said, let me narrate that. When he readied himself to narrate the story, I held my breath. I readied myself for any more bombs that were going to be dropped on me today. He kept his copy of Sollada Kadegal aside and narrated the story as if he was there and it happened in front of him. Centuries ago, Amrit Rajya, the Immortal Empire, was a rich and prosperous kingdom. Our land was protected by the Chakradhar, a team of 6 chosen protectors, including the Empress, Samyukta. The Empress held the Kashtaka, the wand of colossal supremacy, controlling all the elements of nature. Each of the other 5 were responsible for each element of nature. Her first warrior was Bhaskar, god of fire. He was really good with his sword and archery skills. Her next warrior was Neeraj, god of water. He was a healer and could use water as a weapon if he wanted. Then there was Gagan, god of air, who was swift as air and had the power of 10 mammoths. Manjari was a warrior who could speak to animals, trees, birds in the forest. And these birds and animals were her army. And finally, there was Yudhika, who was the compassionate healer with the power of spirit and light. They constituted the Chakradhara. It is believed that they were guided by some higher power. Always. As Mr. Khalsa was about to continue the story, Siddharth asked, "What are they now? Or where are they now?" Mr. Khalsa smiled and said, "They're right in front of me, sitting in front of me." "No, no," Siddharth said, and pointed at the book near him. "What happened to them?" Mr. Khalsa continued. Empress Samyukta got the prophecy made by her minister as a promise that they would all come back to protect Amrit Rajya from the dark forces. Well, let me continue my story now. As years passed, a great darkness began to rise. The dark forces rose to power, becoming stronger and stronger under the leadership of Raktab and his right hand Malharak. They had illegally become extremely powerful. Their darkness had started enveloping Amrit Rajya, the empire that was once prosperous. Empress Samyukta had to take the most difficult decision of her life for the people of Amrit Rajya. She called for her ministers and her team, Chakradhara, and spoke to them. "We will fight to the very end, and if need be, we have to sacrifice ourselves. Not surrender, mind you. We have to sacrifice our lives for our Amrit Rajya." She had understood. Only the sacrifice of the Chakradhara would create a safety shield around Amrit Rajya. This shield will start thinning towards the end of 100 years. "Minister Vidhatri," she roared, "this should be recorded as a prophecy and hidden amongst the stories that aren't spoken of commonly. These stories can be accessed only by a selective group of people. This is what the folklore says, and I am compelled to believe." Mr. Khalsa ended the story with this. "Parshati and I are willing to help you get through this." "No," I said after a long pause. "I don't know what to make of all of this." "I mean, me leading? Throughout my life until now, I have only been bullied and have been only looked down upon. Tears were threatening to fall from the corner of my right eye. It is a good thing that I'm used to it. Otherwise, Tamira is the pain in my neck. She's trying to get back at me for the smallest." I realize something as all of them stare at me. Tamara was no ordinary human. She was something else. And she knew something more than I did. As he saw the realization on my face, Virat smirked. "Finally, you realized. This is the reason why neither Arkya nor I wanted to speak about her in the school premises." This statement was followed by silence in a room full of 8 humans. For me, it was abject silence. I was feeling very uneasy, so I stood up as I wanted to step out into the front porch to breathe fully. As I walked towards the main door, all of us heard fluttering of wings. Because I was closest to the front door, I stepped out and saw an ostentation of peacocks. It was a mesmerizing sight. At that exact moment, nature decided to send a slight drizzle, and a single ray of sun shone brightly on me. Nature's miracles were at its best. See, Miss Parshati whispered, this is no coincidence. I was yet to wrap my head around everything. I could clearly see that the scene in front of me was a confirmation of whatever was discussed earlier. The problem, I think, was I do not trust myself enough. A blind light filled the yard as if the sky was clicking a picture. When it faded, an ancient weathered scroll rolled towards my feet. I picked it up, and the words, "This is just the beginning," came up on the scroll letter by letter. I stared at it because I did not know what to do with it, honestly. And as I looked up, the peacocks had disappeared into the skies, and the letters on the scroll in my hand had disappeared again, one by one. The scroll remained blank now. I rolled it back up and tried to hand it over to Miss Parshati. She pushed it back towards me and said, "This belongs to you. And it is because of you that we were able to see this impeccable scenic beauty."